Hi, my name is Jessica Nordell. I am a journalist and the author of this book, The End of Bias, A Beginning. And I write primarily about bias, prejudice, and discrimination. This book actually looks at approaches that have been shown to change people's behavior. So I follow individuals and organizations and communities on their quest to become more humane and more just and less discriminatory. And so it's a very science-based book, but with a lot of stories and a lot of personal, individuals' experiences. And it's ultimately a very hope-giving book because I find approaches that have actually changed people's behavior for the better and created more humane and inclusive communities. And so I'd like to just read a short snippet from toward the end of the book where I talk about the ways that this work really benefits all of us. Those of us on the receiving end of discrimination and also those of us who are working on combating our own biases. As I examined and confronted my own biases, my relationship with the world began to change. Friendships grew deeper and richer, both among people with whom I shared many social identities and among those with whom I shared few. Difficult conversations became manageable. As I became more confident I could repair my relations with others, it became easier to risk venturing into the unfamiliar. When someone across a social difference reached out to me in friendship or trust, I rushed in, knowing there was information in that exchange I needed. For much of this project, I struggled with what felt like a paradox. The fact that emphasizing differences carries the risk of entrenching stereotypes and increasing discrimination, but downplaying them can generate feelings of invisibility and disrespect. In time, I came to see the choice was false and impossible. We are all of these. We are similar, sharing the need for belonging, fresh air, vegetables, and human connection. We have differences, born from our ancestries and bodies and contexts created by people long dead. And we are individuals, as particular as the markings of a human iris. We have no patterns, wrote Audre Lorde, for relating across human differences as equals. The problem is not in seeing difference, but in the values and meanings we attach to it. If we can grapple with our biases deeply enough to see one another in all our facets, I realized, perhaps we can begin to create the patterns Lorde imagined. We might too be able to feel our way into another's experience. This active imagination, notes South African scholar Pumla Gobodo-Madikizela, is a prelude to caring, a prelude perhaps to love. Gobodo-Madikizela, who served on her country's Truth and Reconciliation Commission, writes that René Descartes' famous notion, "I think, therefore I am," reflects a sense of individual existence, independent of others. In fact, she says, we exist in and through each other. Our humanity depends on our ability to bestow humanity on others. This truth surpasses the business case for ending bias. It strengthens the culture case and it underpins the justice case. We end bias for the sake of others and for our own. Who might we become without our illusions and denials? We might become human and trustworthy. We might all become free. Thank you.